It's happening, guys. It really is. I cried about it for months. I posted something on Reddit, which naturally got no upvotes. But it's happening, and I think my opinion has been avenged. A representative from ARMS, a very unique and fun fighting game, will be joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as the 6th DLC character. I know it's late, but as I said in my previous video, which you should watch if you haven't already, is that I just decided to use my voice, finally. Also, I wasn't able to contain my excitement for so long, I had to wait until now to make this video. So now to begin, I guess Mr. Sakurai finally realized his enormous mistake. He decided the 5th DLC should be someone that nobody wanted and obviously was too expected. Another Fire Emblem character. Not only that, but Bios is from Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is still not even a year old yet as of right now. Sakurai denied an ARMS representative because ARMS was apparently too young, but now look where we are. Now before I jump into the discussion on who is going to Smash, I want to address a few things, and by that I mean the unnecessary controversy in the community. We were disappointed to find that the 5th DLC was a first party character. Considering that the first DLC was Joker, which was a hype reveal, everyone expected another third party character for the 6th DLC, especially as a compensation for adding Byleth of all people. Now, everyone is complaining about ARMS. They're saying that it's not a good game, the characters aren't good, and of course there could be better options. First of all, if you say ARMS isn't good, then you either haven't played it or you just don't care to explain your reasoning. I think that having the ARMS character put in after popular demand is quite befitting. I also think that maybe the second Fighters Pass was only meant to have 5 characters originally, but they decided to add a 6th, and that 6th is the ARMS character. Okay, so the deal with the ARMS roster, who will get that spot in Smash? I'm a Ninjara main, if you couldn't tell by my intro music or by my last video. I think he would make a great addition to the roster because he has all of the ARMS mechanics and he can also warp. That would be a neat moveset, kind of like Mewtwo. I want Ninjara in Smash, but who do I think will actually get the spot? I think it's probably going to be Min Min. First of all, she's a female character. None of the DLC are female except for Byleth, and even then, the female Byleth skin is secondary. So I think it would just make sense that Min Min would get added considering she's female. Also, she won the popularity contest in ARMS, that large party crash tournament. So that means she's probably the most used character and the most demanded. And she even has unique fighting style, and there's a lot of potential with her charged up arms. She can make a pretty good character, I have to admit. We'll have to see, that's just, who I wanted versus who I think we're actually gonna get. But what are the chances of each of the ARMS characters to be added? Each character has something unique about them, and each has a good reason to be added. And there's a lot of questions being raised about certain things for each character, whether or not they would get added as the DLC. So let's go through the list of 15 fighters and see which ones have the potential over the others. First up is the superstar Springman. Immediately, this brings in one question. We know he's an assist trophy, so does this mean that Sakurai is willing to turn an assist trophy into a fighter? Because that raises much controversy with characters like Isaac and, as much as I hate to admit, Waluigi. We did see this happen with Little Mac, the worst character in the game, but this happened over the course of Brawl and Smash 4, so we still don't have a definite answer if Sakurai is willing to make an assist trophy a character within the same game. It would make sense to add Springman because he's the face of ARMS and the most iconic character when speaking of the game. However, if Sakurai does decide the roster needs more females, then he's most likely going to choose the next ARMS character in line, Ribbon Girl. She's just as iconic as Springman, but instead of being a male, obviously she's a female, or at least that's what we think. She also has many great aerial options to add into Smash. Her stage is also neat and would make a great addition to the roster, but I think the whole stage deal is a whole other topic as of right now, so let's just skip over that. Next up is the Student of Stealth Ninjara. Now, I already told you that this is the character that I want to be in Smash. I can see why he would as well. The roster could use another ninja, considering we've seen many close combat, range, projectile, anime, sword fighters, etc. His warping abilities can enable many great things, and as mentioned before, I just hope that maybe he stands a chance. I don't think Master Mummy will be the DLC, but he'd be a pretty cool addition. A heavy arms fighter doesn't really work out that well, but I think Master Mummy might be able to pull it off. He has a healing mechanic, so he can introduce a shield that actually heals you the longer that you hold it down. We have Ness, Lucas, Wario, and Wii Fit Trainer, and obviously some others that can heal with some of their moves. So I think introducing this factor is not actually that much different, and it wouldn't be that hard to pull it off either. But I don't think Master Mummy is popular enough to get added to the roster. We've already talked about Min Min, so we can just move on to the next character. Mechanica. Mechanica would not be a great addition because, again, a heavy arms fighter is not the way to go. I think a swift character would be the best option. Also, Mechanica's only special ability in the arms game is kind of like a boosted jump, and we basically already see that in Samus, and I don't think there's much unique and display of mechanics being seen here, so Mechanica is probably out of the option. Now to talk about Twin Tail. If the DLC is not Min Min or Ninjara, it will definitely have to be Twin Tail. She's a female, and on top of that, she's popular among the gamers for obvious reasons. Plus, her moveset is quite decent, so she has a higher chance. She is probably also the most wanted character among the community. Also, she has dark skin. Now, I don't know if Sakurai aims for racial diversity, but you never know. We don't have that many dark-skinned characters in the game. They even decided to remove Black Yoshi and replace him with another green Yoshi. I don't know why they would do that. How could they do such a thing? Next character is not just Bite, but also Bark. Recently I realized that Bite and Bark stand a decent chance. They're not popularly used, but since they're a 2-in-1 character, that does put them up there somewhere. We could see the unusual arms moveset combined with a dual character, resulting in a top tier abomination. But I think Ice Climbers, Duck Hunt, Banjo and Kazooie, and even Olimar serve as enough. At least I hope. I don't want to think that Bite and Mark get added when they could add someone much better. I'm sorry, but that's just what I think, okay? Okay, so Kid Cobra is amazing. Sadly, he doesn't stand a chance because he loses to other popular characters. However, he is kind of popular. I just love his swiftness. If you didn't know by now, I like characters that are relatively quick, and Kid Cobra is quick. If Kid Cobra was in Smash, he would be a ranged melee close combat quick character. That's a new level of god tier, I'm pretty sure. Helix would be an interesting choice. Not that the Smash devs would consider him or anything. Helix has the ability to change shape and take advantage of either being short or really tall. I think seeing this in Smash is not going to be possible just because of how broken the recovery would be in this case. Maybe it would be balanced by making Helix a very lightweight character. Definitely his music and stage are really cool, so. Okay, so I may have lied before. If Ninjara and Min Min don't make it, then it's either going to be Twin Tail or Max Brass. They're probably the most well-played online characters, and Max Brass is the commissioner of arms, so he could potentially work as a, quote, ambassador. That'd be cool. He would definitely be a heavy, and his ability, kind of like how Shulk has Buster, and how Joker has Arsene, Max Brass would probably become bigger and using his shockwave, and makes his moves slightly stronger. I think that mechanic would be pretty interesting, combined with the ranged fists. Lollipop is cool in terms of jumping in the air, but there's not much to say here. She has no chance, and for obvious reasons. She's not that popular, and she's not even one of the originally released ARMS characters. She was put in as a free DLC. The same thing can be said with Misango, unless Smash is looking for some ethnically diverse characters. However, I feel like the native background that was given to Misango is kind of representation of cultural appropriation. I don't know, maybe or maybe not. Misango would have something like Shulk, where he could switch between spear armors rather than Shulk's Monado arts. If Springman is added, then I feel like 4 of his alternate costumes would just be Springtron. And I feel like that's the only way Springtron is probably going to get in ARMS. Or is it? You see, I thought more into this, and I realized something. Springman is an assist trophy, and he might get added into the roster as an actual fighter, but his assist trophy version will get remodeled and turned into Springtron, because they're basically the same character, and I think they can make this work. I think it's a pretty good theory, and I feel like a genius for figuring that out. Buckle up, guys. This may actually work out. Dr. Coil is like the ARMS equivalent to Bayonetta from Smash 4, Meta Knight from Brawl, or Joker, period. She also kind of reminds me of Dark Samus, and I think her moves would be similar to Dark Samus, but with more melee style rather than ranged, obviously. But either way, I don't think she's a very popular character among the ARMS fighters, even though she is basically the developer of ARMS in-game. But she's also not a good pick, just in general, due to everything about her, let's just say. So now you've heard it from me. There's some good options and good reasons to choose certain characters, but in conclusion, it should be Ninjara or Max Brass. And if we're going for females, it's gonna be Min Min and Twintel as the second pick. I also think that there's a chance we might get a character with 8 different alternates, just like Bowser Jr. Each alternate will have a set of arms they can choose from, and having a hybrid character can satisfy basically any arms player. I think if it happens, they should go with the first 8 characters, maybe with a small adjustment, but having 8 different skins with different kind of arms could introduce the mechanic of customizing your character before actually playing around each time, just kind of like how in Pokemon Trainer you can choose which Pokemon you want to start off with. And I don't mean like a Mii fighter where you can legitimately customize all their moves. I mean right before each round you can choose different arms, so you choose 2 arms before each kind of round. That would be pretty neat. Or maybe they'll do something where you can just switch arms while you're playing, sort of like the Monado arts. I don't know, maybe we'll see something neat there. I also think my theory of Springman and Springtron is genius, and it's likely to occur, so I'm going to pay extra attention to any sort of detail Nintendo might be throwing out there. I don't know, this might actually happen, but we'll have to see. So that's my address on the ARMS X Smash agenda. So, you know, I'm waiting very patiently for June, and I also made a promise when the announcement had come that I'd main the ARMS character, or at least try to. And no matter who it is, I promised that I would main them. So I'm just hoping it's Ninjara, but if it's not Ninjara, I'll be fine with Min Min. And if it's Twintel, that's a whole nother disaster. I'll probably also post a reaction video for when they actually reveal the characters, so stay tuned for that. Stay optimized, and thanks for watching.